Alright, how's it going everyone? Hope you're all doing well. So, I've just got done playing, well, I fucking am doing air quotes now, playing. I've got the highest fucking air quotes in the world, fucking skyscraper high air quotes, playing Undisputed, or formerly known as EA Sports, fucking I was going to say fucking Fight Night then. Esports Boxing Club, or whatever the fuck it was called. So it's going by the name of Undisputed now. You can see the gameplay I've managed to capture, and it's, let's just say, if this 3 days of playtesting, because it went live tonight for 3 hours, it's going to be 3 hours, well, just gone. So we've just done 3 hours, it's going to be 3 hours tomorrow night, and then Sunday night. If this was a 3-round fight, Undisputed has just lost the first round with a 10-8 fucking ass whooping. Now, I'm not going to be too hard on it, because everyone knows this is the only purpose of this being released at the moment is like an online stress test to see how how it does with loads of players online. So I can't be too hard on it, and it's still, the game's not even finished yet. You know what I mean? I don't think it's too far away. You know, we've been getting loads of content drops lately of fighters and shit, so I feel like it's on the verge of coming out within the next few months. But like I say, if this was round one, it didn't do too well. If you were anything like me, I was sat trying to find a match for about 2 hours, just staring at that fucking black screen saying searching, with the little buffer symbol going over and over. I kept going onto my laptop to see if any other people were live. I wasn't live streaming, I was just recording, but I was checking to see if anyone was live streaming, and I was finding a lot of American lads, and they were in the same position as me, just sat at a black screen with the buffer thing over and over again. One streamer I was watching ended up watching another lad's stream, like a Russian streamer who managed to get into the match. There was people able to get into matches, but I think the majority of us were not able to. And within the first hour, I think Steel City released like a patch or like an update live while it was live. Everyone downloaded that thinking it was going to fix it. It just didn't. So it's just teething problems on their end. You know, this is the whole point of this test. But I imagine not many people actually got into a fight to actually test the game. Do you know what I mean? Most of the people, including myself, just were staring at a fucking black screen. So, in terms of testing the actual gameplay, never mind like how the online functioned, as you can tell from looking at this gameplay, it's choppy. Like, there was unbelievable lag. Like, I've never known like it. It was like I was fucking, I don't know, like playing this on a fucking Mars bar, you know what I mean? Like, my system's more than capable of running this. Like, it's not the best system. I've got a 1080 in my laptop, and this is, I think it's the recommended requirements of this game, something like a 1060 or something like that on Steam. I know my settings are on medium, so I'm not caning it with the fucking settings. Got everything on ultra and all that. So this is my system's more than capable. I've got 32 gigs of RAM on my laptop, so I should be able to run this. And it's an online. This is like a teething problem online, because this was the best match I actually had, believe it or not. It was the longest match I had without lagging out, and actually how smooth the fight was. Like, it's 60, like it's mostly 60 here in the sort of in between round cutscenes, if you like. But you'll see it start to get choppy during the fight. Now I'll cut to another match in a minute where it's just absolute dog shit. It's like minus fucking 20 FPS, you know what I mean? The footage is almost going backwards, it's going so slow, it's like a fucking slideshow. But you can see how choppy it is. But this was the best match in terms of when I actually pressed the button, or I was using the stick. I like to use the stick like in Fight Night. When I actually pressed a punch, inputted the punch actually came out. Which in the other matches, because the frame rate was just tanking, hardly any of the punch. You'll see in a minute, it's unplayable is the word, unplayable. But like I say, I can't be too hard on it. It's just teething, but fuck mate, they need to get this shit together and get this in a somewhat playable state over the next 2 nights. Because you can't put it. Obviously, this is, like I keep saying it, I'm not dogging on the game. Do you know what I mean? It's just baby steps, teething process, but they need to have at least something out there to. But that's why we're doing this. This is an online playtest, but at least we should be able to actually play the game. Do you know what I mean? To a certain degree. I'm alright with a few drops in frames here and there, but fucking hell, not like 1920s fucking Charlie Chaplin theatre, do you know what I mean? So, how did it feel to play? My biggest question coming into this was, how does it feel to play in comparison to Fight Night Champion and some of the Fight Night games? Because I'm a big, long-time fan of them, been playing them since, well, we're Knockout Kings on the fucking PS1. I'm grown up with them games and the Fight Night games from all the way from 2004 up to Champion. Really enjoyed them, and I really enjoyed the punches in nearly all of them. So I was thinking, how does it stack up? Number one, I was happy you can use the sticks if you want, if you're interested in that. You don't have to just use the face buttons. You can use the whole punch control, which is what I like to do. So I was happy that you could do that. It feels very similar, but it just wasn't functioning like the lag. You know, it wasn't. I need like a lag-free session to gauge whether you kind of like fire off quick combos, because it was just stuttering a lot. But saying that, as poor as it was performing, it wasn't too bad, you know. I'm actually pleasantly surprised by this game. Like, in all the footage that they've released so far, I've only made 2 videos on it, but I've been a little bit critical of how the punches were looking. Everything looked a little bit stiff. And it still does to a certain extent. I'm just looking at the footage as I'm talking now. But sometimes you let a few combos go and it was like, oh, it felt smooth, you know what I mean? It's like if you've ever like hit pads or you do boxing yourself, like, you know, the fluidness of your punches coming out, and I don't know, it's that, you know, if you watch boxing or you know what you're looking for in a boxing fight, if you're just a watcher, like I'm just a casual fan of boxing, MMA's more my game, like I'm more of a MMA fan and a K1 fan than I am boxing, but I love the science of it, you know what I mean? And I know what boxers punch like, and I know what they should look like when they're throwing their punches. And it felt sharp, it felt snappy. It's not perfect by any means, don't get me wrong. I'm not like kissing this game's ass, you know. It's like there's some work to do, but I'm pleasantly surprised of how some of the punches felt. Like I say, it was only the first time experiencing it today, so it needs a lot more practice at it. But some of the impact felt like I don't know, like there's a couple of times during some fights, I don't know if it's in this fight, but like threw a couple of like light shots up top, and then I went for the power shot to the body, and you felt it dig in, you know what I mean? Like it just felt like it digged, and there was a bit of reaction from the opponent. I was like, oh, that was good. I got I got a couple of light shots up top to get the hands up, and then a hard body shot. It felt like it, you know, like he'd planned it, and I don't know. I'm just it's early days yet. We'll see what the next 2 nights have to offer in terms of if it's cleaner to play. Let's just say that it was just too much lag. Most of the matches I was going into had like a ping warning up at the top of the screen. You probably see it in one of the others. But like I say, this was the best performance. And if you're wondering why the fuck is Mickey Ward fighting this Terry Harper, like, I don't know if that's just a bug of the matchmaking, but I think a lot of people like myself, they were trying to load a match up. For some reason, picking the women resulted in more matches, I think, because obviously most people want to just play as the fellas in general. So I was thinking I'll give the women a try, like, and I've seen a few people online doing the same thing. But for some reason, I guess it was just crossing over the matchmaking, and you could end up getting these intergender matches, you know. So I was playing as Mickey Ward here, and my opponent was playing as this Terry Harper girl. But it just looks funny, you know, like a man squaring off. I don't know if you can actually do this in the finished product, or this is just like a little bug in the game. But that's why you're seeing that, and this was most matches that I had. It was either matches like this, intergender matches, or a mirror match. So I think I've got footage of like me and my opponents are both Terry Harper, and yeah, so bit of a shit show in terms of like what you press on in the menu and what actually turns up in the fight. Yeah, so it's you probably think, well, what does this feel like? What does that? It's too early to say, unfortunately. We need a smoother running thing. Half of the matches I was lagging out, it just kicks you out to the menu. So yeah, I'll show you some more. I'll cut to another match now and just show you how fucking believe me, this what you're looking at now is the best it's looking. So I'll show you now what it looks like, fucking like I'm playing it on a fucking Snickers bar. Alright, so here's one of those mirror matches I was telling you about, and look at this frame rate. Like it's choppy, but look at this when the fight actually starts. Look at the state of this shit. Look at that. That is absolutely fucking terrible. Like, I don't know if I don't think it's obviously people have good and bad internet. My internet's pretty stable. It's not the best in the world, but I normally, when I play online games, I don't normally have any issues, but this was just, like, I'm not blaming the opponents. Like I say, I don't know what part of the world this opponent was from here. But I don't think it was just a ping problem or an internet problem. I think this was just a lag problem with the actual game, because it was better in some matches and worse than others, and I know that can be an actual internet thing, but I don't know. I felt like even in the menus, this game was lagging. You know what I mean? Like I'd try and look for matches, and I'd noticed the little buffer symbol starting to lag, so I'd back out to the menu, and then the actual menu was lagging. And in the options, I had the menu locked to 60 FPS. You can have the menu frame rate to whatever you want it, and the actual fight frame rate, so I had them both capped to 60. But look at the fucking state of this. Like, this is what, see the ping thing popping up then briefly, which might happen again at some point, but when I was pressing an input on the stick there, like, the shot was either just not coming out at all, or it was coming out about like 6 seconds later. Look at the state of this shit. But again, it's early days, but like, there better be some improvement tomorrow, or people are going to be pissed, you know what I mean? So I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. I'm not going to be, oh, this fucking sucks, see, this is a fucking failure. No, it's the whole point of this, you know, it's an online stress test, you know what I mean? I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. But you need to get it to a state where we are actually able to play the fucking thing, do you know what I mean? And like, this is not good enough. The last fight looks like fucking 120 frames a second compared to this shit. And that was like supposed to be locked at 60, and it was probably more closer to like just over 30 really, or 40. But anyway, yeah, so not enough data, let's say, yet, or time in. Because we got 3 hours in general, and 2 of those hours were spent staring at a fucking search and lobby screen, so I didn't even get an hour. I'm probably guessing that was most people's experience. So let's hope tomorrow brings something different, but I'll leave it there anyway. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Fingers crossed this improves for tomorrow, and I'll catch you in the next one. See you later. Take care, everyone.